can't go for that. No can do. What? Hello YouTube, I'm AC from AC Toy Design. Thank you for tuning in today. I get a lot of folks reaching out, asking for tips and pointers and help about how to sculpt. And videotaping yourself while you're sculpting has to be one of the hardest things to document. I've talked about it with a lot of friends, colleagues, mentors. They all have a different setup. One thing we all agree on is that you're constantly being bendy and shifty and slidey and all kinds of things around your camera in order to get it recorded. So I thought for my first sculpting demonstration, I would start with something small. In this case, a 6 or 7 inch scaled weapon, and that weapon being the axe of Minox. Who is Minox? I don't really know who Minox is. Who is Minox, you ask? Well, Minox is a... That's Minox. This is one of my new Masters of the Universe Classics 7 inch custom figures. As you can tell, and you'll see in the video further on down the road, I've sculpted his head from scratch, his armor, his neck, hair, and a few other details, his armbands, and then I've painted him for areas that were dark, a white base color. But what we're focusing on today is his axe. His axe I sculpted from 100%, with the exception of the stick part, was a plastic piece that I put together. But all the details that you see, the head and the spiked areas, those were all sculpted. And I documented the entire thing for you folks. So what you're going to see in the video is this plastic stick that was actually 2 plastic sticks, just fodder from my fodder bin, that I glued together, sculpted over so it was nice and strong, and flattened out a piece of epoxy that was roughly the shape of the head, laid the plastic down onto it, and basically just let it sit overnight to cure. And the beginning of the construction of the axe was peeling that off of the table so that it didn't break, and then that gave me a base to work from. From there it was just layering and layering and sanding and sanding. One of the biggest things in sculpting, at least in my experience, that a lot of people don't show or share or realize is the amount of sanding and carving that you'll do, or at least that I do, post-sculpt. So a lot of my sculpting is getting shapes. As you can tell from the axe, it's got 2 layers to the head, probably actually more than that, about 3. And each layer I had to carve away and sand away, make sure it's flat. At one point even dremeling to get a shape, the middle shape down the center. And I show all that in the video. So a few things I want to mention. When you are sanding, this is my mask. I love my mask. I hate this mask. Along with my mask, good toss. Along with my mask, some of the other tools that I use in the video are sandpaper. I've got 2 grits that I always use. One thick grit, one fine grit. Start with the thick to get the shape down, finish with the fine to smooth it out. Probably my most helpful tool in all of sculpting is my X-Acto knife. Get one that's sharp, be careful. One of my favorite tools to use in sculpting is my metal dentist sculpting tool for sculpting. That's my favorite one. Another super helpful tool for sculpting are your silicone rubber tipped sculpting tools for sculpting. I sculpt with that. And one pretty helpful tool that I don't use very often, but in this case came in very handy, is my linoleum cutter. Linoleum. You might remember this from grade school. They had us cutting linoleum tiles and making pictures. It's got a bunch of blades that are hidden on the inside. that are interchangeable with the key chuck right here. Key chuck. I don't know what I was just saying. So as they say in YouTube land, YouTube land, man, YouTube land, out in YouTube land. So as they say in YouTube land, YouTube land. So as they say in YouTube land, man, YouTube land. So as they say in YouTube land, man, YouTube land. What? Let's eat a sandwich. I'm doing this the hard way so that you don't have to. YouTube land found this video helpful and that it answered all the questions you might have wanted to ask me. As with all my videos, I'll have affiliate links down below in the description where you can find all the stuff that I used in this video to make my axe, so you won't have to ask me about it later. And if you have a few more clicks left in your fingers, please remember to like, subscribe, and bell icon. I want to give a big thank you to my patrons over on Patreon for their support. And if you'd like to help the channel grow, think about subscribing to my Patreon at patreon.com/actoydesign. That link and other links are below, as I mentioned, and I will see you in the future. That one's really good. That one's really good. So I hope everyone out there in YouTube land found this video, got everything, YouTube land. YouTube.